What's up, guys? This is Ian here, Commissioner of your NCL, bringing you guys Week 2 transactions. These are transactions that took place during Week 2 that will go into effect during Week 3. Reminder about transactions. There are 12 weeks this season. Transactions can only be made up until the end of Week 8. Each coach gets an unlimited amount of trades and only 3 free agent transactions. So, we have not seen anyone hit the transaction cap yet, and we will not this week either. But that is coming up soon for a few teams. So first up is Matt and the Green Bay Glissopods. Thank God, dropping Landorus-Incarnate for the Scolipede. Now, the one thing I don't like about this is that it drops a defogger for his team, which is a team that lacks removal for all of the rocks weaknesses, especially adding a Scolipede. However, I like the T-Spike support, and I like the Spike support for Charizard X and Hoopa Unbound. Um, any kind of baton passing for stat pass is not allowed. It is very much banned in this league, but it's a great physical sweeper as well as the Zard X. So definitely another secondary threat to the Hoop Unbound and Zard X that people will have to think about there. Matt also dropped Golbat for Gligar, which is overall a decent trade. Honestly, like he kept the poison typing, he kept the ground and flying typing, so like he's keeping the typings that he wanted. He kept Defog in at least one part. Kept Stealth Rocks as well, and then added Spikes and T-Spikes. So overall, just a really good transaction. Honestly, I like this about as much as I enjoyed Matt's transactions last season, where he traded like Skarmory for Landorus-Incarnate, and he traded something else for Electro. He traded Electros for Registeel or something. Um, and he like kept all of the same typings, all the same benefits. Matt's just really good at that, clearly. But he is now down to one transaction, so we'll see how that goes for him. Obviously, trading in a Violite user for a Violite user, you're not missing out on much there. Just loses a little bit of speed on this one, but gained it back with the other trade. So it's basically a 50-50, and I think it just improved his team a little bit because he kept the 4x ice weakness as well. So there you go. Jay and the UNC Wingles wasting 20 free points completely and dropping his franchised Haxorus for Tyrantrum. I definitely agree with this. Tyrantrum, it can fit a little bit better on his team, in my opinion. Gives him another rocker on the team, which I think is pretty important to take the weight off of Infernape and Nidoking, which I think were the primary. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure Infernape and Nidoking were like his primary stealth rockers, which was a little bit sad. And I would indeed be correct. So, luckily he's got another rocker. I mean, none of the three of them really want to run rocks, if we're being honest, but there's only so much you can do there. So, good on Jay there, and hopefully we'll see him use his other transactions soon. Yikes. Last but not least, Shade and the Calgary Town Flames dropping Dragology for Zygarde 10%. I agree with this very much so. I don't believe his team had a ground type before, so it's nice to have that. It is a little bit of an ice weakness, but he had the ice weakness either way before. And he's got ways to mitigate the ice weakness for sure. I like the speed tier on his team, hitting 115, just like between Crobat and Mega Gallade is a little bit helpful. He lost like a super slow option in Dragology, but like Dragology's not really a Trick Room sweeper anyways, despite the fact that he has a Trick Room setter on the team. I don't know how much that'll matter. I think that having a reliable ground type is going to help it a lot so that people can't just spam Volt Switch against him. And a nice physical sweeper there with the Zygarde to go along with things like Mega Gallade and Bisharp. So that is going to be it for the Week 2 transactions. Yep, that's going to be it for the Week 2 transactions, and I will catch you guys for Week 3 if there are any.